Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Premier Hotspur with your hosts, Si and Matt.
Hi guys, welcome back to the Premier Hotspur TV. It's your man Simon, North of England's biggest Spurs fan. Yes, guys, we are back again with another fans call-in show for you guys to come in and have your say. And the link is in the description. So if you are going to come on the link in the description, hit the link up and come and join us on the show. We have got co-host Matt. How's it going, pal?
Yeah, no, not too bad, mate. Yeah, no, I'm all good. Not obviously the result we all wanted, but like I said, I saw positives. We spoke backstage, and it's too early to, you got to give this guy time. He's only had 2 training sessions, but I'm sure we'll get into it. But no, I thought at least a trying and gutsy performance to get a point at a hard stadium. To be honest, at times.
Yeah, absolutely, matey. Absolutely. We did say it last night on the stream, and it was going to be a tough test, even though with the 4 players missing. Everton is a hard ground to go to anyway. I'm not making excuses for the performance, but it is a hard ground to go to. Conte's he's only been in 5 days. I mean, the comments I've seen him about Conte already. I mean, where's this entertaining football and things like this? Give this guy a break. Give him a chance. Jesus Christ, he's been here 2 seconds, and we have got people literally wanting this guy, like calling for his head and things like that. Oh, it's absolutely unreal. But to me, overall, what I've seen, I have seen extended highlights, and it does seem to me, Matt, that overall the draw was a fair result in the end. Both sides did have their chances, and to me, we had a direction. We had a patterns of play, Matt, and we actually attacked the game as well. We actually look good going forward. Do you know what I mean? And things like that. Instead of sitting back and passing sideways and passing back all the time, Conte will get it right. People just need to just get a grip. This guy will change it. He's will be given time. These are the players, remember, guys. These are the players that let Poch down, Jose down, Nuno down. Conte can't turn water into wine. So he can't turn a bang average player into a world class player. They've always been bang average, and they'll never change until we get these sort of players out. Conte's players in he wants. He needs world class players in his team. I mean, so Matt, give us your summary of how the game went today and how you thought Conte set up. Did he set up right? Did he set up wrong? Did the players he picked, were they right? Were they wrong? And in general, how did Tottenham just come away with a point, really?
We obviously played a 3-4-3, same team that played against Vitesse. I think you've got to take that sort of into consideration as well. I think for 2 quite, I suppose, energetic and knackering games, I think the team put in a really good shift, to be honest. I think it showed that, they are going to be, up for the fight. 2 games in the space of a couple of days is not easy. Everton had a whole week off to prepare. Rafa looked like he kind of got the message, kind of into them. They looked a bit more organised, a bit more, like a bit more better, on the ball. But I thought we handled them reasonably well. I thought the 3 at the back played pretty well. Obviously, they got a clean sheet, so I can't, slaughter them too much. Dyer sometimes ball watched a couple of times, but I thought, we're probably going to be seeing Ben Davies quite a lot because he's our only left-footed sort of player who can play in that position, and that again comes down to depth, which is something like I've said, we need a left centre back and need that addressed in January. But he plays there for Wales. He looked pretty good today. He's not awful coming out with the ball. I think he tried to help Reguilon, quite a bit, with overlapping runs and things like that. I think not the perfect performance. I think we really lack a creative player. Again, I thought the midfield was it's just a bit too slow and predictable. I thought Skip was the better out of the two today. Thought Højbjerg, he wins the ball sometimes, but then he kind of passes sideways or it goes back. Whereas I thought Skip kind of turns and looks forward straight away. He tries to get the ball into the dangerous areas. I thought Kane held the ball up reasonably well today. I thought he looked a bit more lively again, trying to get in pockets. He put a wonderful cross in for Reguilon. And he obviously hit it over the bar. Wasn't an easy chance, obviously. But obviously I'm seeing a lot of stuff about Kane saying he's not, playing for the badge and, he's not in good form. But, I mean, I don't think Son is either. I mean, he hasn't scored since September. So I don't think you can just go on Harry Kane all the time. I think you've got to have a bit of balance. And, I'm afraid Son's not at the races either at the moment. And I think it's neither of their fault. I think it is due to a lack of creativity. Like I've said, I just think you've got to have that balance. You can't just keep getting on the Kane train and going, he's not pulling his weight, he's not scoring goals.
Maybe Matt, we need to freshen our attack line up again. We've had this attack line now for 3 or 4 seasons now, Matt. We haven't really refreshed it, have we? No. Many top teams, mate, they always refresh their front line.
New strikers, haven't they? Problem is,
every other season there's always one player comes in it, and just to keep the ones up top on their toes. You know what I mean? And these 3, or you could say 2 at the minute, Son and Kane, they know that they know they can have a bad game and play next week. You know what I mean? And because Conte's probably looking over to his shoulders today and going, whew, looking over to his left and going, whew, hell, what have I got here? And and that's what it is. And it's the depth. He's looking over and saying, I've got 4 defenders here. Who's going to change the game for me? I need someone to win the game. And this is the difference, mate. When he was at Chelsea have quality depth, quality on the bench. I mean, I'm talking of like elite players on the bench. We haven't got that, mate. We've got just bang average players on the bench, and that's why Conte's keep looking over his shoulder. Oh my God! What? I mean, and it's go Joe bang Doherty on, and like the Celso, and he Tungy on a bit too late for my liking. But to me, apart from Tungy and probably say Ali, there's nothing really on that bench you can say that this guy's going to change it. I need someone's going to win the game. But this is what I'm trying to say. He needs to be given time, patience. Let him build what he's got to build. Let him do what he's got to do. But Matt, let's welcome the guys in the comments. Derek, evening guys. Not much goal action today, but Antonio will sort it out for sure. Yeah, keep the face, Derek. That's what me and Matt said. It will come good. It will definitely 100% come good. Dietrich says he will, but we need change. The midfield, Højbjerg and Skip going forward doesn't work. We need Ndombele. We can't blame Kane and Son performance because of no service. Reggie, Højbjerg were shocking. Yeah, you could say no service, Dietrich's. But as I was saying to Matt there, I think we need to start giving a fresh faces up top there. We need to refresh it. You know what I mean? We've had this attack line now, 3 or 4 seasons. You know what I mean? Every top team's always bringing 1 or 2. You know what I mean? Alexander Hilton, how's it going, pal? Hello. Tony says 3 is the magic number. Yes, it is for West Ham today. Well done, Tony. Yes. Bro Adam, Outturn Beach, yes, guys. Tony says evening, Matt and Si, evening. Top 943. Tony says evening to everyone. Sounds like you were unlucky near the end. Yeah, apart from that, hit the post.
Fair result.
Fair result in the end. It looks like they had a couple of good chances in it, and we had a one or two. And yeah, I think in the end it was a fair point. Only news it when we win 3-0. Yeah, absolutely. Deirdre says, big up notes. Thank you very much, pal. Yeah, that's what he meant. Alexander Hill, big up you. Big up to you. I was referring to the Hammers, mate. Okay, Toe says, have patience. Conte will get this team playing soon enough. Absolutely, Tony. I'm not reading into none of this, mate. Seriously. Oh, well, we drew. We were expecting it straight away. I think Matt was the same. We weren't expecting massive change straight away. Oh, we're going to win the next 20 games. And it doesn't work like that. We're not silly. I mean, and we know Conte needs time to inflect, see what he's got for the next couple of months, and I think give it a couple more weeks. I think he'll probably knows the ones he wants out this door, Matt. I'm really sure. Alexander says we need wing backs who can shoot. If Reguilon and Emerson can score, we would have won by 4. Yeah, you can. You tell me wing backs like out and out scorers. You know what I mean? They chip in with their 1 or 2 goals. I mean, so Kelly JTV, still early days. Conte will sort it 100%. Absolutely. Dietrich Kane say, is it me or Dyer looks more at the sky when then looking at the ball and he's mad? Oh dear. Tony Sage think he still wonders what it is in the dressing room. Alexander says Kessie and Botovic in the midfield this season.
I don't think both will happen this season. I mean, I can't see both. Can you?
No, I can't see both. Really, I think next season now. Ben Davies had a good team and is useful when overlapping centre back. What I saw of him, he did all right today. Ben Davies. It's not the answer going forward, though. To me, Tony says still not sure about Emerson Royale for you guys. The truth. No, I really like him, Tony. I really do. I think there's more to come from this guy.
Yeah,
he's pretty solid. He's not 100% great on the ball. You know what I mean, when he gets it, gets stuck underneath his feet sometimes. But to me, I think he looks quite solid at the minute. At least Conte has an idea when he stands this squad and what he needs to do to improve. Yeah, absolutely. Conte already knows. I mean, he's just probably praying for this January to come to get a few of these in. Simon Stevens, welcome, pal. Harry Redknapp had 3 strikers and it wasn't enough, and he had to have Adebayor. Conte has Kane, and that's it. Worst attacking options I've seen since Ramos. Yeah, I totally agree. We haven't got the that second striker we've been missing. I mean, and so hopefully in January we can sort that out. Simon, top 943 say keep the faith, people. Conte will get it right. 100% with Royal. I think he's still trying to get his feet under the table. So at the moment, there's a few mistakes, but no doubt he will improve for Spurs. Yeah, I think 100% he'll definitely improve. Derek says Højbjerg will be the one that is unloaded. He is not a Conte player. Bob Spur TV, yes, Bob's in the house. Like Pep and Klopp, it's all about putting us in the system and identity for Conte in the first season. By sticking to that, he can wean out the weak links and get the players he wants in the summer. Absolutely, Bobs. Absolutely. He knows the weak links in there. I think he's trying to give everyone their fair pop at it to show him one more time, see if they can they can step up to the plate. And most of them are not really, mate. I'm really truly not stepping up. Skip, Rice. I don't think we're in a situation at the minute to get Rice, are we, Matt?
No. Rice is he's we're in a much better position than us at the moment. You know, we're quite a way off them at the moment. I mean, they're on fire at the moment.
Absolutely. So it says, even Bob Spur, hope you're well, Mr. Spurs squad. Thank you for coming in, pal. We look decent. Things for Conte to look over. Yeah, absolutely. We've got international break now. He'll have a good look at this squad, and I think when they come back, mate, I think they will be in for a couple of shocks. I think. So, Matt, can you see improvements in our play under Conte? We've seen a couple of games now, the one in Europe and the one today. Have you seen improvements already?
Yeah, I think the movement's better. I think playing out from the back, I think we look pretty comfortable. And I think through midfield, we're trying sort of quicker passes. I just think when teams drop deep like Everton do, because we don't have someone who can spot a pass, it's just hard to break down. But I do think there's patterns of play. I think there's partnerships forming. Don't forget, these players have got to learn a whole new sort of playing system. I don't think we have never really played three at the back. I mean, under Poch for a tiny bit, but it's mostly always been four at the back, hasn't it? So I just think that, like I've said, a little bit of patience is needed from the Spurs fans. It wasn't going to happen overnight. He's not going to come in and we're just going to turn into, world beaters. I'm afraid this is. He'll work out very soon. I'm sure who he can trust, who he needs to get rid of, and then in January I'm sure we'll sign some players and we'll improve. But yeah, I think Everton were a tough team today. I think they were very organised. It was a kind of a typical Rafa Benitez type performance. But I think we'll get better. And I think, the last 10, 15 minutes after the penalty was overturned, the crowd really got going at Goodison Park. And I thought Spurs did well to dig in. So, yes, I have seen improvements. And I thought Ramiro had another good game, actually.
And over the seasons gone by, Matt, a point at Goodison Park has always been, do you know what, we'll go over that. We'll take that because it's a hard place to go to. Don't get me wrong. I mean, let's not be fooled by this. You know what I mean? Everton are missing 4 players, and Hickson as well was obviously what's going on with him at the minute. So they're missing really 5 key players. You know what I mean? And they still dug in today. They still played some all right football. You know what I mean? What we did say about his Townsend and Gray, they did cause us a bit problems today. And Richardson with his movement, his power. You know what I mean? So we knew it wasn't going to be an easy ride. Never at Goodison Park. I mean, the crowd is the 12th man there. They're very hostile. The fans on top of the pitch, and they really do pump Everton forward. The fans, and so season gone by, that would have been a good point, Matt. Mm-hmm. So why is it not a good point now? You know what I mean? Oh, because Conte's first game, we're expecting to flip him roll 4 or 5 past Everton. Then days have gone. Everton really set up well today. I think Benitez set them up not to lose, to be hard to break down, and they've done their job. You know what I mean? And
I think all those days have gone in the Premier League. I think every game's hard. Like I've said, seen West Ham beat Liverpool tonight. Arsenal just about got through against Watford.
Yeah.
Leeds got a point against Leicester. I mean, Leicester aren't pulling up trees, and they've probably got a lot better options than us. So I really do think we need to just calm down a bit, some of our fans anyway, and just be a bit more.
Seriously, if this was Nuno still in charge and it was like a 0-0 saying or 1-0, yes, we can say, oh, do you know what? We can continue. We're not getting no better overall. But listen, It's a new thing, and we know, and I believe it's completely different to Nuno. I trust Conte to do what he's got to do. You know what I mean? So I pay all my faith into him that he will get this right. 100%, he'll get this right.
I've already
I mean,
seen more from our style of play. I know, again, we didn't have a shot.
we see we scored, conceded 2 sloppy goals, but apart from that, before that, mate, and today, we do look quite solid.
Yeah.
I mean, hard to break down. You know what I mean, and if
when teams come at us and we can win the ball back, you know, with our energy, we will punish them. I just think Everton didn't quite as go for it, and we couldn't, or sometimes we just didn't react quick enough. We were a bit sloppy on the ball, poor first touches, and just not the final killer pass. There were times where we got in. I think it was Lucas Moura on one of the occasions where he should have just played Son through, and he tried to go alone.
So what? So the improvements, Matt. Do we both agree that defensive wise, 100% in it? We've seen we are seeing more solid. Yeah, more. We've seen more calm on the ball, not hoofing the ball, Matt. Seems like we're passing out from the back.
Oh yeah, it's not hoof it long anymore. It's transitions. Yeah. It's flicks. It's been a bit arrogant.
But it's the final third, Matt. What's lacking, isn't it? What's letting us down at the minute? And I still say, Matt, and I think Conte knows it needs refreshing. He knows he's still got Kane and Son up there, but he's probably thinking what we're probably thinking as well, Matt. That been together for about 3 or 4 seasons now, it does need 1 or 2 new faces up there. I mean, to tell Harry Kane and Son that even if you have one bad game, you're not playing next week. You know what I mean? Because there's other good players. You know what I mean? Not just bang average players, good players to step into your shoes. You know what I mean? So we do need refreshing. The final third, me personally, and obviously the centre back as well. Bob says Pep finished 3rd in his first season, and Klopp finished 8th in his first seasons, but they established a team system and spent money on the right players to fit that. Sorry, guys. So it's up to the board now. And Thomas Tuchel, when he took over Chelsea last season, remember his first game, Matt?
No, I can't. Did he lose?
Well, it was a 0-0 against Wolves at home. So then he went on. Then it was history. You know what I mean? Won Champions League. You know what I mean? So to all the ones, I'm just putting it out there as an example. You know what I mean? I mean, it's not only just because Conte can't do it. We told you this and all this bullshit you'll hear. Seriously, Thomas Tuchel. I mean, he drew 0-0 his first game. It took him time to get his ideas over to the players, Matt. And as soon as they did, mate, it clicked in it. Something clicked in there, Matt.
We had quite a hard game. You know, Chelsea drew with Burnley yesterday.
Absolutely. West Ham beat Liverpool today. No disrespect to West Ham, because West Ham are flying at the minute. Absolutely flying. But everyone, what I was listening to yesterday,
makes our result
just shade Liverpool, because to the way they've been playing at the minute. You know what I mean? Didn't show West Ham enough credit. You know what I mean? West Ham at home are hard. We've always said this, Matt, innit? West Ham at home, they're hard team to beat.
They look good away as well. They look good away from home as well, to be honest.
They've
got a good foundation now. You know, they've got a lot of players they've got creative players. They've got 2 solid.
They've got a balance, Matt. They've got a balance in it.
Balance, yeah.
They've got a good balance. I mean,
but it took Moyes a while to get it, so you just got to be patient.
Tony say you're never getting Rice. he's still rattled, isn't it, from last night, Tony? You rattled, Tony. Declan Rice, a good player. Big up, Tony. So I said Rice is in a league of his own at the minute. Loves Skippy, but he's been thrown in the deep end and he's struggling, in my opinion. I think today he was all right today.
Probably
nothing.
my man of the match for us, I think. Anyway, I think the way because I was a bit worried after the European game. He was a bit dodgy in that, but he'd obviously maybe had words with him or maybe given him a bit of advice, and he took it on board. And
Yeah,
I do think he was good today. I thought he tried to get the ball forward a lot, and actually he was shouting at senior players to push up the pitch towards the
yeah,
end. And
absolutely.
he's only young. I like people like that.
Yeah, absolutely, Matt. Alexander says, no, I said that Skip is better than Rice.
No.
No chance.
No.
Sorry, Alexander. Top guy, but not a chance for me.
Not that deluded, Jesus.
So he says, haven't seen enough of Skip at the moment to compare. Hard place to go to. We have our best record away there, 9 games now, 4 wins, 5 draws. Okay. Derek says Conte is assessing the players at the minute and will make necessary changes in January. Yeah, 100%, Derek. What is Skip, an academy player, or did you buy him in? He's an academy player. Yeah, he's come from an academy tone. Academy. Oh, okay. Fair play to him. So he has a bright future with Spurs then. I don't know yet. I'm a bit too thin with him in a minute. I think he's doing all right. But I still don't think once Conte gets his eye in, gets the players he wants, I think the likes of Skippy and Højbjerg will probably be squad players the time Conte gets round to getting what he wants in. Year is 2036. Ollie is still the manager menu and playing in the 6th tier of the English pyramid.
Yeah, I mean,
yes.
guys, we could have Ole Gunnar Solskjaer as manager, so you got to put it all in perspective.
Let's be confident. If the board backs Conte in Jan, we can be awesome. Yeah, absolutely. It all comes down to if he gets the correct backing, get what he wants, and with the players we are hearing what he wants, mate, the sky's the limit for Tottenham.
Even get those players in, they've still got to bed in, and they've still got to get again used to. If they've never played under him, they've got to get used to his way of playing. So it's like you said, Simon. I don't think we'll really see the fall until next summer, but I'm hoping maybe a bit earlier. But yeah.
We'll definitely see his ideas and what he wants and things. But I don't think we'll see the whole Conte squad. The whole Conte squad. What he's going to mould together till next season. But he's definitely, yeah.
You can see some of the ideas already, and it's only been a week. So
yeah. Listen, we're seeing more changes, more ideas in 5-6 days than we did with Nuno for 4 months. You know what I mean? So, that just says it all. Bless you, Simon. Cole, it was never going to be a quick fix. Absolutely, Cole. Thanks for coming in, pal. At Spurs squad and signs half of Serie A. So I said, if the board fail to back Conte, then you will be looking for a new manager again. So it's in their interest to back this man. I think he's going to back him 100%. Seriously, people think they've got this. He ain't going to get backed. Don't get overhyped about this. Daniel Levy's going to fuck this up. Not a chance. Not this time round.
He can't.
Paul says, "Good evening, lads. Happy with the points. Simon, you need some lemsip. No, I'll have a nice hot brew after. So not a problem.
Hot brew and an early night. That's what you need.
Yeah, absolutely. Tony says exactly, Matt. This season we are good home and away. It's a massive credit to Moyes. Absolutely. But as what West Ham fans always say, the bubbles burst after Christmas, and let's see if that changes, Tony. Let's see that you can go through the whole season. Which will be great. It'll be great to see.
Most of their players are going to have to stay fit, aren't they? So
yeah, never rattle Simon, but some of you are as deluded as that mob down the road to you. Oh dear. What deluded Watson think Rice to Spurs? I still say, and I'll still vouch my point that if we did make an attempt for Rice, I think Rice will come to us. That's my opinion. But to me, what you're asking for him, it's a bit too over the top. I think we can get better abroad.
We can
Me
put
personally,
more positions than just one, don't we? So I'd rather.
Yeah, absolutely. We had Leeds, Burnley, Brentford, Norwich, Brighton, Leicester, Liverpool, Palace, Southampton, Watford, Arsenal, until Chelsea. We win all those games. Yeah, I wish.
That won't be easy.
Christopher said Skip ran the game today.
There's some hard teams in there, Brentford on their day anyone can give you a game. So
yeah, absolutely, matey. Tony says evening, Matt Cole Simpson. Hope you're good, mate. Yeah, bet you are. Yeah, it's all good, mate. It's not like another win to make me feel good. Sergio, thanks for coming in, pal. Why did we play at 2 today? We played on Thursday night. We were knackered. We've got to get used to this, though. We've just got to get used to this. I mean, this is why I think once we do hit that January transfer, we'll get better players. We need to match the big statement. We signed Conte. I mean, he's an elite.
You'd also like to think by January we'll be a lot fitter by then as well, hopefully.
Yeah, absolutely, Matt. As I said, Conte's an elite manager. Now we need to just give him the elite players. I mean, and that is the only way. It's the only way, right, to get us back to where we want to be. I mean, sometimes it works if you bring in. Sometimes it doesn't. I mean, but surely it's got to be better than the flipping phosphorus we've got.
We need to buy people who are going to suit the system.
Absolutely, suit the system. What I think that's what Conte will do. Conte will assess the squad. He'll set a system up, and he'll fit in the ones that he thinks in his current squad who can fit it. Then the ones who can't, they'll probably be asked to leave, or there's be bit part players, and he'll go and find the players in January to fit the other positions. You know what I mean? That's what he done at Chelsea. You know what I mean? Very well. You know what I mean? He moulded that team for the way he wants to play, and the rest was history again. I mean, don't blame me, Tony. They deserve it, quite frankly. Deirdre says Arsenal cannot get Flatteridge if they do. No, that source was a rubbish source. I saw that, and it was. I never heard of the guy. I mean, so nah, don't believe that. Seriously, I don't think he'll want to go. Seriously, out of Tottenham, Arsenal, he'll go Tottenham all day long because of Conte and Paratici. Straight away, like that. Boom. I'm telling you now. So Tone says, cheers. It was a hard game, which was expected. More pissed at the second goal they got. District State, and they already have 3 attackers, and they don't play in front 2. And they're talking to ourselves here. Yeah. No, Simon, you thinking I'm rattled from last night? I know your crafty habits. Crafty habits. Oh dear, jeez. I'm just saying. Me personally, I was just saying if Rice if we had attempted to go after Rice, I think we'll have a good chance. But to me personally, Rice is a good player. Don't get me wrong, he is a good player. But I just think we can. There is 1 or 2 abroad that I think who just a bit better than Rice, and I think we can get them because of Conte. To me, but Rice is a good player. Tone. Did you see him lose the ball under his feet on the counter attack? For fuck's sake. Yeah, everyone's just saying hello to each other here. Need a good creative midfielder. Yes. Yes, Sid. Yes, Sid. How's it going, pal? Evening, boys. Chivali Lo Celso. This guy. Sid, speak to us, lads. Speak to us about this fucking GLC, lads. This guy is fucking toilet. I'm telling you now. Tony says, yeah, Simon, Matt, do you believe Matt, do you believe your co-host? Be honest, man.
I can't remember the question now, Jake.
Declan Rice.
No, I think if we start coming back and start playing good football when Conte wanted him, I can't see why he wouldn't.
Tone. That's coming out of Matt's. I'm not talking from Matt. That's coming from Matt.
Hypothetically, if we come back, up the league and we start playing well again, and you can sell a project to him, or at the end of the day, it's Antonio Conte. Like, a lot of people want to play under that manager.
Absolutely. And I want to just quickly go away from the football side of it quickly. Today we hit 700 subs today. So thanks for everyone. We are on 701. So we are 299 away, guys, from the 1K we want to be at. So 299, guys. Let's make it happen. As I said, one more push now, guys. Get all your family and friends. Get this channel out there, guys. Get them to sub free of charge. They don't have to if you can follow us. Just make us get to that 1K, which will be great. Lewis 2705. Today showed low confidence. The attack didn't turn up. Conte will get a run of games and drill an attacking system into them. Yeah, absolutely. It wasn't. The attack was poor today. Me personally, I think the defence.
Yeah.
That's what me and Matt said. They look solid again. I mean, they're looking like they're hard to break down. But I think once Romero gets one or two quality defenders beside him, mate, I think we're even harder and we'll be more composed as well. No less defensive errors we normally get with Vipin Dye and Sanchez. I mean, so me personally, we need two quality, and I think we need to freshen our attack. I've said this twice now. We need to freshen this attack. It's a bit too. It's been going on for about 3 or 4 seasons now. We ain't refreshing. And we'll keep relying on Kane, Son, the same ones every single season. So I think Conte will slowly but surely, he will get us playing an attacking system. Richard, this side would struggle to score. Oh, Richard, thanks for coming in, pal. I rest my case. Oh dear, Jesus Christ. Well done, guys. Great to hear that. Keep smashing it. Thank you very much, Tony. I said, Tony, it wasn't for you, like the likes of you and the rest of the guys, his comments come in every single stream supporting me and Matt on this. I mean, we wouldn't be doing it. I mean, Richard says, I'll write this season off under Conte until he clears out the deadwoods and brings in his own players. Slowly but surely he'll do it. In January, he'll shore up the defence 100%. Maybe get that striker in as well. Me and Matt was speaking behind scenes, the creative midfield as well. So 3 players, Matt. You reckon 1 centre back, creative midfield, and a striker? That'll be great, isn't it? That'll be absolutely fantastic. It's got to be the right fit for Conte in it. These players, they can't just be any old player because of the name.
Yeah, I think, like I say, left-sided centre back, a creative midfielder, and then Vlahovic or a striker. Yeah,
absolutely.
Be a good start for me.
Yeah, absolutely, matey. Sid, what was that corner? I know that corner. What? Do you know what?
Really wound me up.
Do you know what? Right, people said I've seen better on Sunday League. Don't mock Sunday League, mate. I'm telling you, that's even worse than Sunday. That is absolutely schoolboy errors, man. I'm telling you, that was seriously. There's people saying we never score from corners. Wonder why we can't get over the fucking first defender. It's absolutely shocking. He said, rolls the ball. Yeah, he needs to take lessons. Yeah, absolutely. Big up, Sid. Fantastic to have him in there. Fabrizio Romano officially confirmed that Barella has signed Salute yet. Yeah, but Fab did say it was always a complicated deal for Spurs. Even if Spurs wanted him, he was going to always sign this new deal at Inter Milan. It's a 5 million net per season. So, but that don't say that we will never have a chance. We may can go in for the summer and have a bid, because that's how teams act, isn't it? They put a contract and it just bumps their sell-on fee, isn't it? That's all it is. I mean, that doesn't mean that it's not for sale at any price. I mean, Derek says we are saving it all up for West Ham in the cup. Everyone in the chat, don't forget to hit the like, share, and subscribe button. Keep these guys grow. Help these guys grow. Sorry, Tone. Yeah, thank you very much, Tone. Absolutely fantastic. Listen to Tony, guys. Like, share, comment, guys. Subscribe and do everything he says. He is the boss in the chat. Derek's love it. Alexander says everyone like the button. There's 17 of you. Thank you very much, Alexander. Richard says, I hope Simon and Matt go right to the top, 2 top blokes and down to earth. Thank you very much, Richard. Absolutely. Appreciate that, matey. Bryce, lads, our midfield is terrible. We get bossed in the midfield and have 0 passing ability in the final third. Yeah, I couldn't agree more with you, Bryce. I really can't. Seriously. We're all bigged up Højbjerg, in it, Matt. I'm not saying he's a terrible player, Matt. But does he fit Conte's side, Matt? Him and Skip. We've got to put Skip in it as well. Do both of these eventually when Conte gets his eye in and gets the players he wants in. Could you see these two or either one of them starting in the Conte team?
Not sure. I don't think Pierre suits it. I'm not sure about Skip yet. It's hard to sort of say as well. And Skip, potentially could be a future sort of player for us. Whereas Pierre, you could, as much what he's done for the club, maybe he just doesn't suit a Conte, style. Obviously Skip got a yellow card today, so he'll miss the game against Leeds. So I think it'll be interesting to see who he pairs alongside Højbjerg, or will he just go for something completely different?
Yeah, I totally agree there, Matty. That Pierre, I don't think he suits a Conte style team, me personally. And Skippy, if he probably can find 2 players he thinks can do the job better, I think he will bring them in. But Skippy, out of 2, Skippy will probably be more. He'll get more playing time under Conte than Pierre. Richard says, I've got a horrible feeling that West Ham could do a Leicester City. Hey, what, winning the league? Never say never. Football's a funny old game. That's why that saying is always about Matt, innit?
Yeah.
But can they do a Leicester City? I don't think so. Me personally, Matt.
No, I don't think so. I still think Chelsea and City are quite strong up there. I mean, you could say West Ham could be in with a chance of top 4. I don't think you can deny them that. If they carry on the way they are, but I think the league's a bit of a push.
Absolutely. Alexander says we can't get the ball past as a third to the glass. Sid Conte to play Son Kane up top with Dele behind and running onto through balls. You think this could happen? Sid, Conte did say he's going to give everyone a chance, and he said if he can get Dele playing again, he thinks there is a real good player in Dele Alli. I think he does like the look of Dele Alli, the old Dele Alli. I mean, not this new Dele Alli. Can it work? Do you think it will happen? I think it can work. Without a shadow of doubt, it can work. But will Conte try it? Maybe to see if Dele can revive himself. Because this is probably his last chance, isn't it, Dele?
Well, I mean, he's got 2 weeks to impress during this international break, hasn't he? So
yeah,
work hard and
I think
train hard and get fit. And
I think, mate, need to shave off them fucking dreads. Right. And and go back to the flipping Delhi with flipping no, come off social media. I mean, playing his flipping video games all the time. That's more important to him than playing football. It really is, seriously. But we always say but Matt, because we know what a good player Delhi has, or Delhi is, sorry. We know he's a good player in him, but we haven't seen it for the last couple of seasons, mate. Have we? What, 3 seasons now, Matt, isn't it?
No, we haven't seen it. No. You know, you could say the same for some of these other players as well. I think that some of them have been here far too long, as we've said.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying, Matt. These players Poch, Josie and Nuno down. So don't expect Conte to come in, flip in, change them into world-class players. It's never happened. Absolutely. But Sid, thanks for your comment there, matey. Absolutely fantastic. I've said in the chat. Richard says, I was a top Sunday League player. If you had man of the match, get a free bar and a Chinese takeaway. I bet Ben Davis never had that. Oh, brilliant. Absolutely. You can't beat a Sunday League, innit? Playing a game of football with your mates and afterwards go for a good beer, innit, Matt? Go good beer.
Lovely.
Absolutely. Big up, mates. Dietrich says, that's why I said Højbjerg was overrated. Matt, this comment overrated? It's a big word, isn't it, when it comes to trying to judge a player, because it is a big word, and but I'll watch what you say when you call someone overrated. Do you think Dietrich has a point here? Are we really overhyping? Yeah,
I think sort of in a 2 in midfield, like a double pivot. I think he's really good, but the problem with the balance of in contact formation, you need someone who can ping the ball around and you know, come forward with the ball and be almost that sort of deep line playmaker. And unfortunately, he's just not it. I don't think that's quite his fault. I just think, you know, he was bought when Mourinho was there, and he wanted him to play like a CDM. So
he's more of a shithouse player, isn't it, Matt? More of a shithouse player. Gets in your face, hard tackler, hard worker.
Yeah,
but nothing really nothing really flary, is it? Nothing about him. I mean, he gets on the board, makes magic tricks happen and things like that. No. He's not that kind of player, is he?
No, but I mean, to be fair to him, I suppose he has got an assist this season and a goal more than the Celso and some others have done. But just I don't know. I do like him in the dressing room and like his character and his attitude.
Is that enough for Spurs, though?
No,
we need to come away from this. See, this is the problem we've had over the last few years, pal. Oh, he's a nice man. He's a nice man, but that's not good enough for Tottenham Hotspur Football Club. Doesn't matter if he's a nice man. If he's not a good footballer, right, we should be shipping him out and getting someone who can actually play football. I mean, I'd rather have a fucking shithouse guy there who I don't like, but if he's good at football, I mean, I think our fans are a bit too thin at the minute, mate. We're too soft at the core. I mean, we get weak knees. I mean, oh, he's a good player. Oh, leave him alone. He's a good man. He's a good man. Well, no, we got to come away from that. I mean, about having saying players are good. Oh, he's a nice man and things like this. That's a problem, Matt, isn't it? In our fan base. I mean, they think, because he's a nice man, he's a good player. No, it's not. It's not. It's, to me, if he's not good enough, and I think Conte will, mate. I think Conte, you know what he's like, mate. He's
ruthless.
He's such a he's.
But he likes hard workers as well, doesn't he? That's what he said. Effort. As long as you're showing effort and putting in, obviously, effort, you need the end product and to be a good footballer. I don't think he's a bad footballer, but I think next couple of weeks we'll be able to tell, mate. I think we'll be able to work it all out. To be honest, I think he'll start working out and we'll start seeing it as well. But
Absolutely.
I think his main focus is to get Ndombele as fit as he can and as quick as he can.
Absolutely, pal. Tony says, big up, mate. And that game against you guys will be on TV. I'm sure of it, and I can see you giving us a game. That'll be a very good game, that then, Tony.
Yeah.
Will we see Divine play? Not for about a couple of seasons. Conte is not
Doesn't really give
for.
youngsters to go, does it?
He's not for youthful youngsters, is he? Conte, you got to learn quickly about Conte. He's a ready man. He likes players ready made. I mean, he's gonna win now, not for 10 years down the line. Win now. I mean, and I think Tottenham, we need this kind of guy because we've been waiting for 30 odd flipping years. I mean, too long now. I mean, so we need someone like Conte. Win now. Get the players who can win now. Do you know what I mean? But Divine, don't get me wrong, he's an absolute exceptional talent. He's too young at the minute to put the pressure on him to where Conte wants to go.
Yeah, he's still got time. He's
still got loads of time, absolutely. Remember when we had the likes of Moussa Dembele and Luka Modric in midfield, still haven't replaced them. Yeah, but I still say Conte knows that as well. Conte knows that. He knows that midfield not very great. And I think in the end, he will definitely get two in. Dietrich says it's weird. He doesn't fit Conte's system because with Denmark they play three at the back. I don't think. Me personally, I don't know. He started well, Matt. Yeah, started well, and just don't think he's been on it, mate. Well, a fair few games down it just before Conte come. He had it under Nuno as well, wasn't it? When he didn't really sharpen some of the games, and it was a bit awful, misplacing passes and giving the ball away too much. And then we started to light up about Pierre and saying we saw the other side of his game, innit? And saying, wait on, that's not great, is it?
I think he'll be better alongside, if he's going to play in a Conte system, you need someone like an Ndombele or someone like that next to him rather than Skip. So I think it's one of Skip or Højbjerg, and then for the sitting sort of role, like he did at Inter, and then it's that person who can pick a pass and go forward and have a goal for it. I think that's, and it's between them two to fight out, really.
Absolutely, Matt. The league was weak when Leicester won it. Arse's top show, Simon and Matt saying it as it is. Everyone smash the like button and follow this channel. Sid, legend, absolute legend. Sid is, and I'm on Judge Jody tomorrow. Sid, I'm on Judge Jody, 8 o'clock. I'm giving the player ratings. Matt, you probably have to help me with some of these player ratings because I ain't seen a full game, so maybe I can read your player ratings and I'll give your thing over to it. But I've seen it more than the extended highlights. I mean, I haven't seen the whole game. You know what I mean? So, in fair, I can't give everyone the correct score, but you've watched it, so you probably can be fairer than me. Richard says, true point, Derek. I agree about the dreadlocks in Ali. They must be heavy and slowing them down. Oh dear. I'm surprised a few big clubs haven't got Roy Keane as backroom staff. Can you imagine him telling you? Brilliant. Kino is a fucking legend.
Yeah, I love him on Sky. Yeah, good.
Do you know what? He's like us, mate. He says it fucking is. He says it, he sees. And he's absolutely fantastic, I'm telling you. Simon, you said it perfectly. Thank you very much, Dietrich. Matt is turning into Afi Fenwa from Wicked Wanderers. Ooh. Good on Afi Fenwa.
I'll take that. I actually would. Yes, a great comment. Lovely.
Oh dear. Spurs squad. We need to remember our UK English-based players before we get rid. Yeah. Totally agree with that, mate. Absolutely. But if we still get rid of a few European players and bring in a few European, I mean, we can do it that way. So I can get where you're coming from there, Spurs squad. A fantastic point. So that was that, Matt. Today's show, Matt, that Conte has a massive job on his hands.
Yeah, I think we.
Or you could say not a massive job, but he knows what he's got to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I wouldn't say it's huge for him. I think he knew before he came what he needed to. Do you know what I mean?
But he did say in his interview after the game today, "This club is right for me," which is good to hear.
Yeah,
it's good to hear. That's a good start.
Yeah, and he also said it's a start. He said it's a point. We didn't lose. It's a good start, and he said this team need to suffer with these type of results to get better, to learn how to win a football match and grind out, results, and it's all based off a good defence to start with, and then the attack will come. But yeah, like I said, it wasn't an easy game. It was at Goodison Park. I don't care how bad they're playing; they're still good on their day. We look at Norwich yesterday. They beat Brentford, who've been on absolute fire.
And sacked their manager.
Well, they sacked their manager, yeah, but a bit of a weird one, but
but as saying that no one gave Norwich a chance yesterday. I was watching a few other channels. They were saying, Brentford flipping 2 or 3-0, Brentford this, Brentford that. Then this is why I say this league never write off anyone because anyone could beat anyone on their day, and
I think the foundations are becoming. There's a few foundations there. I think you got Ramiro will be there for a while at the back. I think that's a good, position. I think we got Emerson who looks good at right wing back. Still not sure what to make of Reguilon, and it's a bit more at left wing back. Sometimes I think he's.
You know what? We can upset Tony again, and we can get Cresswell.
Oh, fucking hell. He'll be good at a corner. I'll give him that.
Do you know what, mate? He's one of the underrated left backs in the Premier League.
Mate, yeah.
I think he's fantastic, me personally, and I think he'll fit into Tottenham's way they play.
I think he's only just behind Trent for most assists.
Yeah. So Tony, I'm sorry, I'm not trying to. I'm just picking up your players. You know what I mean? How good they are.
He's got wicked delivery on him, isn't he? Yeah, it'll be good. But no, I think there's some foundations there. I think we just need to get the midfield right. We need to get a few players out. I still believe we've got a very good, good enough attack. I think it'll be interesting to see what he does with Lucas Moura, whether he's a long-term thing for him or whether he's gonna, try and get someone else in who's more of a goal threat and a bit more consistent, especially in that front three. But then I still think long-term he's going to want to go to a 3-5-2 and play 2 up front when he gets another striker. I think that's the way he'll want to go. I just don't think he's got that option at the moment. He obviously doesn't really fancy Bergwijn much because you could have played the 3-5-2 and maybe played Bergwijn on the left and play Son up front with Kane. And then again, Moura on the right or someone else. So yeah, I think it'd be interesting to see what happens. But we're lucky, the position we're in. So I think it's going to be
100%.
a bit patient. But I've seen signs already more than I did under Nuno. The way we're playing it out from the back, transitions, and we just have to be a bit quicker today. And if we had a bit of a killer pass and that final third pass, we probably would have scored and gone on to win the game. If anything, we probably had the best chance to win the game. We hit the post, so it was the closest to coming, and we didn't play, brilliantly.
The shots on targets will worry at the minute. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's saying for like 3 hours of saying without having a shot on target, like it's a bit of a worry. But
I'm sure Conte knows.
To me, I'm not going to worry that much because I know, as you said there, Matt, the quality's there up top. You know what I mean? Harry Kane and Son don't become bad players overnight. Every top player goes through a bit of a dodgy spell, but I think these two will come good, and I think they'll have a good second half of the season. I think they're gearing up for the January transfer window, get a couple top quality players in, and we can kick on from there. But I think before that, Matt, I think we need to be in a good position in and around that top 4. And I think in January we can attract 1 or 2 top signings. Yeah. Me personally,
we've got to try and stay in there as close as we can. Then up until January, try and grind out any results we can. Really,
absolutely. Let's welcome Curse into the chat. Yes, Curse. Yeah, fellas. Today could have gone absolutely either way. Personally, I think VAR saved us I don't think correct, because but it wasn't a penalty, Curse. I think you probably know as well. It wasn't a penalty. I think it was a great save.
I think VAR saved Everton from not having a player sent off earlier. It's one of them stamped on Son's.
Yeah, absolutely.
It was his chest, wasn't it, or like his belly?
Absolutely.
For it was, yeah.
They always put in a good game. Really dislike Carlson. Pathetic, that guy is. Unquestionable substitute. But because it happens all the time when a team can lose 5-2 at home against Watford. It's Spurs. When Spurs comes to town, or any big team comes to, they raise their game. I mean, and these sort of players, they coming off of flipping heavy defeat, but they'll raise their game against a big team. I mean, they have the game of their life. So, I mean, but big up Curse in the chat. Thank you very much for coming in. Derek says Conte has already given Paratici his list of players who is no doubt working on it already. Absolutely, 100%. That would been bring up when they were talking when he first signed up. You know what I mean? Absolutely. Yeah, Curse, hope you're good. At Tony, Derek, and Richard, big up, guys. Good to see you all here, as always. Thank you very much, Curse. Tony says Conte now knows what he has on his hands after a couple of games in charge. I agree with Derek. He has a list given to the board already, and he expects those players to be here. Yes, absolutely. Seriously, 100%. There would have been an agreement, 100%. I still say that. He will demand it. He'll probably know what players he wanted already before he signed his contract. And it's probably he's handed it over to Paratici and Leary. These are the players I want in January. I mean, go and get them, go and sort it. And Bob's still in here. Thank you very much, Bob. Does a draw mean no leg show, Matt?
I'll give you a half one. All right. Hang on. That's all you're getting. All right.
Hey, hey, only at the wheel. Kurt says, yeah, it was not a pen. Yeah, absolutely not. But if we didn't have VAR checking it, yeah, I can totally agree with that. If VAR wasn't there today, he would have given it and would have been robbed once again. Top 943, laugh out loud. Go back to the question: does today show that Conte has a massive job on his hands? I won't say, Matt. I won't say he's got a massive job. I won't say it's a mountain of a job.
Yeah, I do think.
But to me, what he needs to do is stop playing these dead players. He needs to stop. He needs to play a consistent 11. I know he's trying to find his best 11 at the minute, which he's playing a different formation, different system. And it is hard when you've got absolutely average bang shit players who can't play any system, really, Matt. I mean, to be honest, some of these players are absolutely that bad. Well, any system, they look absolutely flipping terrible in. So, Conte, in that aspect, he has got a hard job. He's got a massive job on his hands. But I fully expect that will change in the next couple of months, 100%. So, to me, I don't think he has a massive. What do you guys think in the chat? Has Conte got a massive job on his hands, or is it just he's got average players he needs to get rid of and bring in some world-class players, elite players? We've got elite coach, so we've got to think elite players. We can't just think bang average players. Big up. Great to see you in the chat again. And yeah, so guys in the chat, let us know. Do you think Conte has, after today's game, does it show that he has got a massive job on his hands? Matt, I think Conte needs about 4 world-class players. Do you agree?
Yeah, I'd probably say so.
And when we talk about these players, mate, they've got to be elite. You know what I mean? Tottenham Hotspur have to stop shopping these little flipping cheap windows. You know what I mean? We need to go out. It doesn't matter how much it flipping costs. go out and get these players. I mean, he wants because these players who wants who will be linked with, like the Skriniar and the Flatovich for January, two absolutely top players, mate. And Fabrizio said about Flatovich, he's one of the best he's seen. He said, if not the best, he's absolutely that good. I mean, and obviously he watches them every week, and he obviously knows. And mate, this is the one. I think this has got to be the one. And I said about to get over the line in January, Matt.
It's like I've said to you. Whoever Conte wants, if he's on his list, go and get him. You know. Like I said, whoever he wants, you just go and back him. I'm sure Paris.
Matt, he just went well there, mate. Yes, Bobs. To your question, guys, I have said the link in the description. So if you want to come on and have your say for a couple of minutes, with me and Matt, and the link is in the description, guys. You'll see it, the StreamYard link. Go in the description, click on the link, and it'll get you in. So, Matt.
That's right, mate. Yeah, he does need these, world-class players. I mean, would you say Ndombele, when we bought him, was a world-class player, or do you think he was a talent? Was he elite level?
At the stage when he was at Lyon playing Champions League football, and I wouldn't say he was elite because he hadn't done that much.
Yeah.
A good player, very good player. But yeah, I can see where you're coming from. That thing, mate.
I just want players. I want players to suit our system and come straight in, and maybe players who kind of know about Conte as well. So if you can get a few of the Inter players, I think it will help massively. But yeah, and they bring that Italian mindset, don't they? You know, so no, yeah, I'd say 4. I mean, a striker.
Me. I just put that number 2 in it, Matt. Tony's right in the chat. You think he needs more? I totally agree with Tony to take more than 4. But we need to start thinking. That's why I put the 2 words world class, because they have to be world class. I mean, these players. Okay, I know what you're trying to say, Matt. Not every world class player hits their form and hits their potential at football clubs, because people think they're world class and they come in and they flop. There is players that are out there who can do a job that are not a class. I'm not in that bracket of world class, Matt, innit? But we need to start doing it though, Matt. Me personally, some of the names I've been hearing. Oh my God, come on! Got someone like Conte. Okay, we have Nuno still at the club. Yeah, like a Ward-Prowse sort of type player. Yes, that's probably a Nuno signing, Matt, isn't it?
Yeah,
Conte's not a flipping Ward-Prowse. That's not a Conte signing.
Since Conte's joined, we're hearing good names. Brozovic.
Yeah, these are the names we should be, mate. We're overdue, Matt. We're overdue of some real top talent in this football club. We used to have it, Matt. We used to back in the day when we attracted like Luka Modric, Van der Vaarts, and the Jurgen Klinsmans. You know what I mean? These are top elite players, Matt. Back in their days.
Yeah, we bought smartly though. No, Modric wasn't. He was only 16 mil at the time. Van der Vaart was. I can't remember how much he was, but even going back to Poch, we bought Toby Alderweireld from Atletico Madrid when he had a season at Southampton, so he's used to the Premier League. You brought in someone like a Dele Alli. Maybe that was a bit of luck and whatever. But you also got someone like an Eriksen, who we didn't think would be as good. I thought he'd be good, but not as good as he was. I think it is about being smart as well. I think sometimes we just waste our bloody money. I'll go back to the summer of 130 million. Bergwijn, Lo Celso. Jack Clark, Sessegnon, that's a combined 130 million quid wasted. So this is what I like about Conte. I don't think he's going to let he's going to have his list, and he won't want it wasted. But yeah, I just think to start with, we just need key positions filled. We need a bit more options up front, like you said. Definitely need a second striker. Definitely need a creative midfielder. Definitely a left centre back, and then maybe even another centre back. But if we could just get a left centre back, a creative midfielder, and a striker in January, cool, what a start that would be. But yeah, even if we've got a striker and a left-sided centre-back, I think that's a start as well, because I do think he's going to get Ndombele fit, and if Ndombele won't pull his weight, he'll just kick him out.
Absolutely, mate. Absolutely. Curse says at Bob Spur TV. Be good to see you on, Bobby. Good stream last night for In the War as always. Yeah, that was a fantastic show last night, Bob's. Yeah, big up Bob's for that show. We've got Dave Tatty. Conte will bring in players he previously worked with for sure. Every good manager does it. Absolutely, I totally agree with that. Hello, Spuds. Yes, Paul Brown. Wow. Blast from the past. There we go. We've got Paul back in the stream. Thank you very much for coming in, pal. Big question. Does Lenik back the acquire these world class proven players to get this like history speak? Yes, I know. I've been hearing this up of other, not naming no names, but these names that these people that keeps bringing this up, and I'll keep saying it again. Seriously. Conte wouldn't have come, and Fabrizio said as well, it's come from Fabrizio as well, he would not have signed that contract if he wasn't guaranteed for what he wants. You know what I mean? So he's seen something at Tottenham, yeah, and it's obviously he's been absolutely promised. I know what you're going to say next. Oh, but Jose was promised and things like that. But I think this is a bit different. I think Conte, he's proven that if he doesn't get what he wants, that's it. Bang. So it happened at Inter. They didn't really back him for the players he wants, and that's it. He walked. But big up, Paul. Big up, Paul. Matt, did you want to answer that question, matey?
Look, I think we've had this over the last week or whatever. Like you said, he's going to have agreed in principle or got Levy to sign some form of contract. He's not a stupid man, Conte. He's not going to be like a Mourinho or a Mourinho. He's and try and it will look bad on his CV if he fails at Spurs. He's not here to fail. He's here to succeed and do well. I mean, if he can win a trophy, under Spurs or take us to where we'd want to be, he'd probably go down as one of the greatest managers, of all time, just because he would have done that, because no one else seems to do it. I think the penny's dropped. I really do, and I don't think they've got a choice otherwise. I think they're going to be in real trouble otherwise. If you saw it up that when Nuno was still there, they were chanting "Levy out" and things like that. And I think maybe it's dropped, and I do think there is money available now. So I don't think there's an excuse.
Absolutely, Matty. Dietrich says Vlahovic, Kessie, Nicole. What's up? I said Schlotterbeck. Yeah, Schlotterbeck, best left-footed centre back in the Bundesliga, 21 years old. Wow, I'm gonna have a look at this player. Skriniar and Manu Landria. Who's that, Matt? Do you know of him?
Manuel Lazzari. I've heard of him.
Lazzari, yeah. One of the fastest right wing back players.
I do like that. Angelina.
Yeah, Angela, yeah. Regularly isn't good.
He came from City, didn't he? But he's at Leipzig.
Wow, Dietrich, thanks for that name after that shuttle or.
Yeah, I've never heard of it. Schlotterbeck, yeah.
Yeah, I've looked that one up. Top943 says we paid 14 million for Van der Vaart. No, it was 8 million.
Well, unless it's bonuses, maybe.
Yeah, maybe that's all about it. It was 8 million.
That's a bargain,
that transfer deadline day was crazy in August because it was crazy because Harry Redknapp come up afterwards and he said Daniel Levy literally come me at the last minute and said, "Did you want a Van der Vaart?" Rafa Van der Vaart. Unbelievable, you know what I mean? The way Harry Redknapp put it, unbelievable. Dave says Inter Milan can't let their best players go. They have fans as they do. I wouldn't be expecting a massive influx of players incoming from Milan, but they are in crisis. Money. They need to raise money.
Might get one, maybe. Yeah.
A Skriniar, I think it'll be. And all right, boys. Yes, Harry is happy gooner tonight. Just flaked over the line against Watford. Well done for that. A boomerang missed his penalty today. So that comes flying back at him again. Oh, in another penalty miss. But big up Harry in the chat, Arsenal fan. And sorry about that. So yeah, I think Conte needs more than 4, but I don't think we'll get 4 in January. I think
No, January's a hard time. I'll be happy with 2 or 3, definitely.
Fabrizio, as he said, I reckon it'll get 3. I think it'll be 2 or 3, but he said he thinks it's going to be 3.
I'm hoping early as well. Don't leave it to the last bloody minute.
Yeah, that's it, Matt. That's it. Flipping, get him done. I'd rather get him done, like, get him talking now, Matt, and all that, and get him done for the flipping as soon as it opens.
They might have already, I suppose.
Yeah, today, Matt. Was that a fair result in the end?
Yeah, I think so. I think both teams, looked a bit not very confident. I'd say, at the top end of the pitch, even through midfield. I thought they defended well. I thought we defended actually pretty well. To be honest, I thought both teams, defended well. It was just a cagey game, really, and I think, especially at the beginning of the second half, we really did. The gas. Well, we were a bit slow coming out, and I wonder if that maybe because of the European game catching up with us, and Everton took a bit of control of the game. But as I said, we had a lot of pressure come in, especially after that penalty. The crowd were really rocking after that, and I think the old Spurs would have cracked under the pressure and conceded. So yeah, I think it was a good gutsy performance. I don't think a draw's a terrible result, to be honest. It's not the 3 points we wanted, but it's a start for me, and the commitment. The manager obviously seems happy with the commitment, and he says, his word he keeps saying is that it's good that these players are learning to suffer, because then it's going to hurt, isn't it? And then they're going to want to rectify that. So I think a lot of the players are saying it as well. So I think the messages are that he's saying to us is coming across to the players as well. I think they're all trying to fight for each other. I don't think it's a lack of trying. I just think it's just a bit of lack of quality, especially with no creative player in the midfield. But he's got 2 weeks now in the international break to get some players who are going to stay at Hotspur way and get them drilled, get them a bit fitter, and maybe work on some stuff for when the other guys come back. But I do think it was a fair result. But yeah, I'm sure we'll be better, and we'll get going sooner rather than later. I hope, So, but just be patient. That's all I'd say. This is a proper project, I would say, with a proper plan and a man who's leading it, who's got a good vision for the club. So, a manager we haven't really had in terms of a vision coming out saying, it was lovely that he said lovely that he said today that he thinks the club fits him, which is wonderful news to hear. And he seemed happy with getting the point. I think he said it was a fair result, and Rafa Benitez is no mug. I think the last time we played Conte beat him 3-0. So
3-0 against Newcastle, yeah.
Yeah, it was his last game. So, yeah, and Rafa's normally got a good record against us sometimes, hasn't he? He's normally nicked a couple of results.
It was always going to be a hard game there. I don't care what anyone says. You can take them 4 players out, but still, it's a hard place to go to.
People were just a bit confident when they had those 4 players out. I think
that's how you can look at it, Matt. I think the setup of the team, I do like that going forwards. I think he's got to get his right players to play that system.
Yeah.
We look more solid. We've got patterns of play now. I mean, it's good. It really is good going forward as well. But today, I think defended well. I think Everton defended quite well as well. So it was just cancel each other out in it, Matt, today.
Yeah. And I think actually Hugo is looking like a bit more of a sweeper keeper again. The way he came out and read the, when I don't know if you've seen the stuff where he heads the ball out of the,
No, I ain't seen that. No.
and he's come out and he's headed the ball away like the old Lloris. I think he's been working on his distribution as well, because I think his kicking's got better. And his passing range, it seems like maybe it's something he's been working on. I just wanted to mention that. But we'll get firing soon. We've got, maybe, like you say, it's a bit annoying that the international breaks now, but maybe it's a good time for Conte to work with his players in training and have that bit of time. It's just a shame some of the other players won't be there, but the players that have gone, like Keynes and Ramirez, they're good enough players who I think will fit the system anyway, and they'll still be training, for their international teams at a good level anyway, and they'll be back in a week or two's time, and he'll have a plan for Leeds, I'm sure. But I don't think it's a terrible result. I'm not gutted. I'm excited for the future, mate, and I just know it's going to take a little bit of time, and we need to get some of these players out until January. Which isn't far away, mate. It's only like 2 months, so
yeah, absolutely.
If there's a message for the Spurs fans: all as one, no more moaning, and just let the guy crack on with it, and let's give him our support.
Absolutely. Let's ruffle through some of these comments. 3 points all wrapped up today. 2 points of Liverpool. Dare I say top 4? I don't think you'll get top 4, Harry. Me personally, Dietrich says Conte needs 6 at least world-class players. I totally agree with you. Me, Dave say I'm pretty sure Conte wants another central defender and a creative midfield top priority, and a striker as well. To add that, Dave. Dave says I don't have much faith in Reguilon. He has no end product for me, and he's too nervous on the ball under pressure. It's weird with Regs, but to me, he's still. To me, I think he'll still come good. Me personally, I really do.
Yeah, I think Conte can coach him. I don't think he's a massive problem, but I do think if we can get Sessegnon fit, it just gives him a bit of competition, isn't it?
Yeah,
we can
absolutely.
We can play him at left wing back as well, or bring him on instead of bringing Doherty on. So
yeah, absolutely, Matt. Conte will be looking for end product, which means quite a few players are in trouble in regards to their future. Yeah, seriously, there's about 10 players I can literally tell you now who are not good enough for this football club, where other Spurs fans are still living the dream that some of these players are good enough for this football club. I mean, they need to get their head a wobble. Really, really do. Harry says you lot need a Smith Rowe or someone like that at the moment. Was at the game today, and it's been incredible for us all game. He's a good player, but I think Tottenham we can attract better in training with Conte at the helm. I really do believe that.
I get what he means, though. We need that type of creative player like that.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, I know what it means. But to me, I think with the players who he wants, if we can get some of the players he wants, seriously, unbelievable. Dave says we won't be getting a striker till next year, as we could cope without Kane with Son Lucas. Mate, seriously, I would not trust the likes of Lucas, Gill, and Bergwijn, mate, to score goals.
And we're not going to get a striker when we need
one. Seriously, desperate. There is games like today, even, you know what I mean, and the games in the past. We need to have someone come off that bench, not just a bang average Tommy, a flipping world class elite striker. I mean, and there is players out there who will come and will want to fight.
Lacazette and Aubameyang, like, that's not a bad front two.
No, absolutely not. Absolutely. Also, Ben Davis is
and Iheanacho, so that you can get these players. I'm just fed up with people saying, "Oh, we can't get another striker."
Yeah, absolutely, Matt. Ben Davis in team, eyes shut, can't watch. Absolutely. Toad says, sounds like in the end it was a even game. Everton first half, Spurs second half. So 2 points dropped or a point earned. I think it's a point earned, me personally.
Yeah.
Reader Paul Gascoigne, laugh out loud. Dietrich says, who are the 10 players for you guys, Simon and Matt? Oh, Jesus, I can.
What, 10 players we want to get rid of, or 10 players we want?
Me personally, Dyer, Davies, Winks, Lascelles, so maybe put Delhi in there. Doherty,
Davies.
Davies. Maybe if we get the correct thing, Bergwijn. I'm not sold on him either. Pierre, if we get the right one, we probably can replace Pierre with something a bit better, more creative in there. So that's probably about 9, is it, Matt? Something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
9, that was, yeah.
That's what I'm saying. They're the sort of players.
Dyer.
Even go. I've mentioned Dyer. I mean, you could even go to like someone like Davinson Sanchez as well. I mean, so because he can be up and down as well. Do you know what I mean? If we can get someone, I mean,
Would you feel Roden?
I don't know. I like to see him at least appear under Conte, give him at least one game or something, a couple of games, and see how he goes. And to me, who else in that squad, Matt?
Maybe Sessegnon.
Sessegnon, yeah, and probably Lucas. We won't have a team left. Seriously, I did say this as well. I did say that Conte will come in and he will absolutely flipping strip this team bare. Trust me, he'll rip this team up. Trust me. That's why he just wants to see what he's got, and I think he'll learn very quickly that he hasn't got much to play with. Dave said, I understand your point, but our game without Kane will be different, much more pace. Yeah, if we got the correct players in, Dave, I can see where you're coming from, mate. But the likes of Bergwijn, Lucas, Hill, they don't have much goals in them, mate.
Plus Conte, he loves Kane. He's already come out and said he's always wanted him to have him at one of his clubs. So you just got to get another Eriksen type player who can, and then it stops Kane from dropping deep, and then he just in.
He had Lukaku, and Lukaku wasn't blessed with pace, was he? The big lump in it, Lukaku. You know what I mean? So I think it was a bit quicker. He was a bit quicker than Kane, but I mean, he wasn't.
Didn't he? That's the.
Yeah.
That was the thing.
Bryce says, I have taken Kane off instead of Sonny today. Matt can probably ask that question better than me.
Son was pretty poor, to be honest. I don't think he offered much.
Dave says, I think we need to sell Kane at the end of the season, hopefully get 70 to 80 million for him. We need a certain amount of English players too. Who is there? Is like having all my teeth pulled out, knowing most this squad needs to go. Laugh out loud. Absolutely. Seriously, that's how poor they are. They really, they've been here too long. They've got their feet under the carpet, mate, and it's time for them to fucking go. And that's what the late Claude was saying. It time to go. I mean, I'm ruthless. I mean, and these players need to go. Bergwijn is going in the next window if they can get an interest party. Yeah, I totally agree with that one.
I know Ten Hag likes him, so maybe they'll put in a bid.
Yeah, maybe, Matt. Maybe that could probably be a good choice going back to Holland for him. And let's finish it off. Who stood out for you today, Matty?
Oliver Skip for me. I thought he was the better one in the midfield. I thought the way he drove the team on. I thought he always looked for the forward pass. I'm seeing him shout at senior players to get forward and get up the pitch when we're near the end of the game, and I like that sort of mentality. I think Oliver Skip. I thought Romero played well again, looked solid again at the back. Emerson played well at right back. I didn't think he had the easiest task with Damari Gray, but he stopped him, I'd say, fairly convincingly. yeah, I'd definitely say them two. The back three did a good job. I suppose they got the clean sheet. You have to give credit, if they've got a clean sheet. My worry is, I suppose, just creatively and up front, it's just not clicking at the moment. But I'm sure it's something they'll be working on. But yeah, Oliver Skip for me. I think he was brilliant today.
Yeah, I think the one who stood out for me was Ben Davis. I think he was absolutely
Yeah, he was
fantastic
pretty
today.
good. I was thinking him, but I thought you might go, oh, fucking hell. 6 out of 10 Ben. He was more like 8 out of 10 Ben. I don't know. No, he was good today. I have to be honest. He was pretty good.
Oh dear. Remember, you sent me your ratings, Matt, and I'll use them for Judge Jody tomorrow. Who stood out? Obviously, I didn't watch the game, me personally, live. I've seen the long extended highlights. And I agree with Matt. Skippy had a good game. I just thought Romero was good again today. I think he was. I think hopefully Conte's gonna. But Conte likes that style of football. How how Romero gets in people's faces, a bit rash sometimes. He takes that out of his game a bit rash. You know what I mean?
I don't know if you saw it. Did you see what he did to Richarlison where he headbutted him?
No, I didn't see that. No.
Like, if VAR look at that, he would have been off. Like, he literally just. It was like a confrontation.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He needs all this rash, lashing out and things like this, and he needs to calm down a bit. Just let his good defending do the talking, and I think.
Room, or like when there was players that need to say, "What are you doing? Like, you can't do that." This is why we don't have leaders. We need leaders as well. We need someone on that pitch to go, "What the fuck are you doing? Do not do that ever again, or I'm going to slap you in the fucking changing room."
Yeah.
You're costing us the game potentially.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we know what a real good player is. He's just let his good football do the talking. You know what I mean? It's a bit rash sometimes, Romero, but he was quite good today. What I saw of, and also Eric Dyer. I think he was all right today. Me personally,
wasn't bad, to be fair, mate.
And I thought Emerson had quite a rock game as well. I mean, but I said it was hard to say to point one out who was absolutely blinded. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No one was blinding. To be honest, I don't think.
So yeah, Skip. He's doing all right, mate. He's doing all right. The other question is he the sort of players that want to take us where we want to be? You know what I mean? This is the problem we've got. So we've got some comments here, Matt. It says, guys, remember Conte joined Spurs because of Kane. Yes, Matt's already said that. Absolutely spot on. Hugo Lloris for Derek. Bryce says, is Session still injured? Yeah, he's got his knock. I don't know what his knock is. I mean, he's had this for about 10 months.
I'm bloody hoping that after that international break, he's fit. He's got to be. He can't not be still injured. I mean.
Also, I'm no Davis fan, but I thought he had his best game for years today. I was joking about that, but yeah, he was. What I saw of him, I thought, yeah. But we've got to give credit where credit's due. I know people don't really like these sort of players, but when they do have a good game, we can't just be flipping. We can't be harsh on them, can we? I mean, we got to tell just how how he saw it. Ten Hag would turn Bergwijn into a £60 million player in value. He plays in Holland.
Let him. I want him gone.
Yeah, absolutely. Paul says big questions surrounded our coaching and training, etc. So many of our players' squads shine for their respective countries, but not in our shirt. Confidence. Matt, I can see where he's coming from here because the likes of Lo Celso goes away to Argentina. He looks like a world beater, comes back to Tottenham, and flipping now he looks like a flipping shoe. Looks like a shoe shiner. I mean, complete opposite when he comes back, and same as Kane as well at the minute. But Kane doesn't play for England.
For England as well, so
yeah. So I can see where he's coming from. And is it a confidence thing, Matt?
Maybe, but I suppose potentially. I suppose if you look at the Argentina squad, the Celso's playing with other players around him like Messi, Di Maria, players like that. I mean, when you compare it to ours, he's playing with players like Skip and Højbjerg and players like Lucas Moura who aren't anywhere near that level for me.
So you're saying that Celso would be better in a squad full of talent?
Well, yeah, because I think then he doesn't have to outshine it, fully. I just think if you surround other players with quality, like you say, you want these world-class players. If these world-class players come in and then he surrounds himself with them, it might make him a better player. I mean, Davinson Sanchez plays well for Colombia because he's literally their main centre-back as well, and he's going to play every game. The problem we have is he doesn't really have much consistency with us because sometimes he's in the squad and sometimes he's not.
Yeah, I can see where you're coming from there, pal.
Some players just play better internationally, don't they? It's just one of those things.
This role really suits Ben Davies, which means he can fit into the team as a decent backup. Yeah, it's funny how you say that actually in the back three, left-sided.
Wales, doesn't he? He plays in the back three for Wales, so.
Dave says Skip is doing great, but Conte will bring on his passing game. He needs to mature with his range of vision. I think he has got a good range of vision.
I watched it today. I was like, he zipped it into the middle of the park, and then Moura had spaces to, run in.
I've seen what Dave tried to get for. I think he's trying to look for the word consistency.
He needs to work on. I think he needs to work with Pierre on how he can stop doing sideways passes and go forward with the ball.
Absolutely. Dave says we need to get Lurch from the Adams family in the dressing room at half time in future. Oh dear, absolutely. So yeah, who stood up for me today? I'll go Romero. I think another quite steady performance by him, and it wasn't a great game to call out a player who stood out for us, Matt. But yeah, that's the cool one.
I think on the stream I watched, they didn't even name a man of the match. So,
wow,
I'm pretty sure. I don't remember it, but yeah.
Yeah, wow, Jesus Christ. So, just to clarify, guys, so a little roundup, mine and Matt's little roundup before we end the show, guys. First of all, thanks for everyone who's joined the chat tonight. Absolutely, before you head out, guys, smash the like. Subscribe if you already haven't. Get your family and friends to subscribe to the channel. We are 299 away from the 1K subscriptions, guys. So even if they don't want to follow us, just get them to subscribe. It helps the channel, guys. And just a roundup, Matt. Tottenham drawing Conte's first Premier League game. He's still seeing what he's got and what he's got to work with. To me, what I'll say to everyone, please don't expect coming into this game today that he was going to turn us into flipping Barcelona, and just rip teams apart. We haven't got the team. Remember, guys, we haven't got the personnel to play Conte's playing style to fit his formation, what he wants to play. And we have got the bang average players still, what was here before. We've got Jose sacked, Poch sacked, Nuno sacked. Do you know what I mean? So until we get rid of these players, we need. Let's get Bobs in quickly before we head out.
Big up,
Bobs. Big up, Bobs. Bobs, we've been through everything.
Yes, I know. Cheers anyway. See you later.
See you later, Bobs. Bobs, I've been hearing a couple of comments tonight. People saying things like, where was the entertainment football we was promised and things like this. mate, these are silly comments. Silly comments. I think these are players. These are people who really don't want to give Conte a chance. I mean, who really don't. He needs to be given a chance, Bobs. He's an actual elite manager. And as you said, Bobs, he's only got the players what's in front of him. He's got to work with. I mean, and these are the players who got the last 3 managers are sacked. I mean, I think we need refresh in the forward line, what me and Matt were speaking about. Kane's and the Sons, we've got to stop relying on them. And just what's your overall reflect on how it's gone, mate, and how people reacted? I mean, after this game, not everyone. I mean, everyone really upbeat about the good draw. It's a hard place to go to. People expecting to win, Bob, because they had them 4 good players out. But we said it last night, it weren't going to be an easy game. They've still got quality. And they've still got Rafa Benitez. Remember, Rafa Benitez, no mug. He's a very, very top coach. Yeah. He sets his teams up hard to beat, and that's what he done today. So I knew we weren't going to be an easy game. I thought we were going to win, but a point after what I saw, Bob's, I'll take it, because I know Conte, in the end, will get this right, mate. So just give everyone your overall reflect on how, since he's been in, since the Europa game, now this game here, and just tell everyone, I mean, stay calm.
That's it, mate. Fucking hell. Calm down. The guy's been there 5-6 days.
Absolutely.
Be prepared to see Davis, Dyer, Winks even playing. I think Winks will come in for Skip against Leeds, because obviously Skip's suspended.
Suspended. We've got another booking, yes.
So get used to it, because what Conte's going to do, he isn't going to get rid of all the wasters and all the people who haven't performed, because he's going to play them, because there's no one else to play. Conte, being patient with Conte is completely different to being patient with Nuno. Completely different, because he's got a plan. Remember in Pep's first season, they finished 3rd. We finished ahead of Man City. They were 15 or 16 points off the top in Pep. But you know what he did? He put a system in place. He put an identity in place, a formation in place, and a way of playing in place. He did that all season. They weren't very good. They had a mediocre season for months. But what he could do would go to the board and say, there's my team, there's my system. Now I need to get this player to go into that player into that. Because you know what my philosophy is. You know the system I'm going to play. Klopp, he came in October. Same kind of situation here. They finished 8th. But again, we could see. Remember the first game against us was 0-0. We played in White Hart Lane. Klopp came over and we finished 0-0. Pragmatic, but you know what? By the end of the season, we could see what he was going to do. He was going to play with 2 bombing fullbacks. He wanted to be. He never shied away from playing them 3 up front. They always scored 3, but they probably conceded about 3 or 4. But what that allowed was for him to go to the board and say, "This is my system. We're great at scoring. We're going to always score, but we need to tighten up at the back." What do? Van Dijk, Alisson, and there you go. So he will persist with these bang average players who we aren't going to win any trophies with. There might be the odd surprise. Davis might be a surprise. Højbjerg might be someone who he doesn't fancy. Kane might be out the door. Lucas might be surplus to requirements. But what he's doing right now is putting an identity and a way of playing. So he could justify. I don't think he needs any justification, but he could go to the board and say, right, my central midfielder needs a bit of a refresh. We need to get X player in. I don't trust 2 of my centre backs. We need to get an X player. At least the board can turn around and say, you know what, we can see your vision. We can see what you're doing. Yeah, no problem. We never had an identity or a way of playing under Nuno. We certainly didn't under Jose. He was mix-maxing it nearly every week. Whereas Conte will do that. And everyone fucking calm down, man, because we're going to have 0-0s, probably 3-0 defeats at home this season. But what you will see is a consistent formation. I guarantee you we'll play 3 at the back for the rest of the season. I guarantee you that. And it might be a Davis and Dyer and a Romero for the and some of them might come to the fore. A Davis might actually bypass the likes of a Dyer in that left-sided defence. And I'd go as far as saying it's probably one of the better performances in his first 2 games. I really do. I thought it was pretty good. I would go as far as saying it's probably man of the match today. One of my man of the matches today. That's how good. That's how less shit he was in a very shit performance. We're going to get this. We're going to get this But like I say, Conte, I trust. I'm so positive about this this signature, this manager coming in, because we all know he's not going to come in without any justification, without any promises, any assurances from the board. He'll leave him to it. Let him get all these results. We might spend in Jan, we might not. He might think, you know what, there's no point in me getting in players in Jan when I'm still getting to know these players. It may be too much of a knee jerk. I think the big spend will come in the summer. He might bring 1 or 2 in. I think striker is a must, and maybe another defender. But don't be surprised if the end of Jan we'll either go one way or another. Either he'll turn around and say, I want to get rid of 6-7 players. See you later, because I will not play them. I will not play these players if you keep them. So it's up to you if you want to sell them. And then even demand about 3 or 4 players. I think if the likes of Sonny, Lucas, Harry Kane, Højbjerg, Ndombele, Skip, a Reguilon, an Emerson, a Romero, a Lloris, if they play to their full potential, we need about 3 or 4 players that could change this team from there to there under this manager. So leave him to it. And another thing, just final thing, when Lloris, Dyer, Sonny, Kane, Winks, and another 2, 7 players in total are still here. Who in the last time he played Spurs when he was at Chelsea, 7 of those players are still here, and he's come back after 3 or 4 years. So there's no surprise. Don't think I'm totally against the whole still getting used to the players. Trust me, he knows which one of our players are shit, which players are average, and who's got potential. I really do believe that. I don't think he needed to know how they play. All he needs to know is which one of these average players will fit into his system, because it will be his system. This is my system. You either play in it, don't play in it, and if you're playing it, make your mark, because if you're not, you're getting out. You're getting out of the fucking club, mate. So he will not need time to get to know, because he would have done his background. It's all about players who can fit into his system, rather than sitting there saying, right, I need to play this system because he's not good enough for that position. No, he'll stick to his positions. He'll stick to his system, and it's up to the players to come in and fit to that system. Because if they don't, see you later.
Absolutely, Bob. Absolutely. That's what I'm saying. Conte, first of all, as you said there, Bob, he would have never took this job without reinsurances on board. And he'll have this in contract, Bob, seriously. He'll have it in contract with you. I want this in January. And I do believe, Bob, he will sign 2 or 3 in January. And if he doesn't, I think that's when you see he'll walk. I don't think it'll be like he'll take to the end of the season, mate. I think he will just walk. He'll just go. That's the kind of manager he is. He doesn't stick around. He's not one of these, with his bullshit. He won't take no one's bullshit. Yeah. And
the only reason we probably won't buy it, the January window will be determined by him. Be it one player, be it 2 players, be it no players. He might turn around and say, you know what, I'm not going to waste a massive kitty that I'm getting from Spurs that are like gold dust. What am I risking it by spending it in Jan, or shall I just see how we get until the end of summer so I can splash it all? But like you say, I wouldn't be surprised if we brought in 1 or 2 players or no players.
It's one player.
Only one person determines that, and that's Conte.
Yeah, one player that we need. I think we desperately need to get him in quickly before someone else gets in. Is Blažević from Fiorentina. Yeah. This guy is an absolute
striker anyway.
Top striker. And I think just go out and buy, because I've got a feeling that if we don't act quickly, someone's going to get him. So me personally, that's not the centre back as well. I want a centre back, because I think apparently what's been talked about, that Paratici and Conte has agreed that Skriniar and Pavlovic is two they want in January to go forward into the rest of the season. If them two there, they will literally just change. Just even them two players, mate. I'm telling you, I think it will change the whole aspect how Conte.
We haven't got bad players. We've got 3 or 4 world-class players in my eyes. So I still think Lloris is world-class. I still think Sonny's world-class. I still think Harry Kane's world-class. And, you know, there's potential. There's other potential world-class players there, like to Højbjerg. Although you would say if David's been one of the better players under him, Højbjerg's probably one of the worst players under him in the first 2 games. So it's a wait and see. It is all about wait and see. Wait and see how the players perform. Wait and see how Conte performs. And certainly it all revolves around wait and see how the board perform. Because if they don't do their bit, then we're fucked. Because he ain't gonna, like you say, he's gonna say, never mind the players, I'm going. See you later.
Absolutely. Oren says Upsall just got off bad karaoke sesh with 2-year-old granddaughter. Good nightmare. What? Conte out? Did Pete say that? Matt, you said you saw a couple of them. People say Conte out.
You're joking.
Yeah, I think I've seen a hashtag contact, whether it's tongue in cheek, I don't know.
Yeah.
But it's a bit weird.
He's absolutely. And Paul said, big up, Bobs.
Big up, Paul.
Shelf side Spurs, Davis, 2 good games in a row, to his credit.
Listen, we all shit on Davis.
I think he was decent in midweek. I really do. Absolutely. I think he was solid.
I was there, mate. I was there, and he did look. He always kept his position. He was going side to side, and I think having Reguilon as an outball really helped him as well. I think there's a good partnership.
He plays as a third centre back for
Wales.
Matt.
Yeah,
exactly.
Maybe that's his position. Maybe it's not left back.
And you got to remember, you know, when you're left-footed and you're playing it out to, because there's a lot of. It's the in vogue thing, isn't it? You play right-footed on a left winger. If you are left-footed and you're playing it out to a winger who's right-footed, it's a different pass. It's a different pass. Whereas if you're left-footed, passing it out to a left-footer is a bit more natural. And I think him and Reguilon could potentially have a really good. And they were overlapping and underlapping on Thursday as well as today. I mean, fucking hell, that's 2 shots in 2 games from Davis. Let's not forget there was that was a miss hit against Vitesse, which Harry Kane got, and it went into an own goal. And today, from like 35 yards, it's probably still in the air, but he was in a position to thump it. So that's 2 shots in 2 games from Davis, just showing he's doing his defensive work. And I'm not going to sit here and saying he's the answer to our defensive problem. Of course not. But he could be a great cover and
a short term, Bob's a short term because
absolutely, mate, absolutely.
A short term because people understand Conte's he's only got the players in front of him what he can work with, but he hasn't got a window yet. So we've got to be patient here. I've got Chris from Leicester Till I Die TV. yes, Chris. Hi guys. Quick question: does Simon need a cushion? No, I don't. Oh dear. What happened to Leicester today?
He's got a flat arse.
Yeah, that's it. Chelsea says centre back, centre mid, and a centre forward.
Yeah, big up, Johnny. Big up, John.
Aaron says, Leicester Till I Die. Now, mate, he needs a booster, Jeff. Oh dear. Tony says, big up, Chris. We can have a whip round for a booster seat. Yes, Tony. And Aaron says, thanks for the Gary Lineker, Tottenham legend. Daytati says Romero is world class, Kane, Son, and of course Ben Davis. Laugh about that. Leicester, you're welcome, my schoolmate. Laugh out loud. Reggie did his best to play his way out of Real Madrid.
Yeah.
Of Madrid today. Dave says a big majority were upset that we didn't sign Ten Hag.
I think Dave, what
Conte all over, mate.
He's a good man. Don't get me wrong, but
Ten Hag could be the future. That's what after Conte.
It. I mean, if we wanted to go down that long route of a future rebuild, then it'd be perfect. But he'd demand a lot of money, I reckon, for his staff. Never mind figure. But I don't think us as Spurs fans, Ten Hag coming in, he would have got absolutely slated for a 0-0 today. Nuno would have got slated today. I have full faith in Conte. I have full faith, and like I say, we're going to get a few more 0-0s. We might get a few more defeats. We certainly will do, because we haven't got good players. But there are some world-class players who need some classier players around them to take us to the next level.
Well, eventually, in a cup, I'm sure in one of the games it will click and we'll score some goals. And,
exactly.
It will be,
And Conte is a defensive coach as well. A lot of people tend to go, Chelsea, they were hitting 80s and 90s on a regular basis. Inter Milan, they had the best defensive record, of course. They were the second highest goal scorers in their league as well. So all this thing...
But do you know what?
They outscored us, didn't they, in the 16-17 season? We scored a load of goals that season. So,
but do you know what? If we won that 1-0 today, you would see a complete change in the fan base. I mean, masterclass from Conte, masterclass. Great in defence. We nicked it at the end, brilliant. I mean, this just goes to show how fickle some of these fans are. I mean, a point's a point, and I'll take that today. Me personally, going forward, I think. It's a hard ground to go to. There'll be not many teams to go there. Top teams to go there, and Everton, they're still a good team on the leaders. I mean, so Bob's. So what do you expect, mate, for the rest of the season?
Yeah, wait and see. With Conte, I'm happy to wait and see. With Nuno, again, I don't put much blame on him. He was a mediocre manager from a mid-table pragmatic playing team who got sacked. Isn't it? I think Abby Summers said it best. Isn't it amazing how we play shit football under Jose, we get a shitter manager, and we play shitter football? Well, what how surprising. It took 70 or 72 days to get him, and he lasted 44 days more than it took us longer to get him in, or something like that. So. But yeah, with Conte, we haven't got the players of the class that we have of a manager. It needs to be. They need to go in sync. So we need the players who mirror the manager, and we need classier players, and that will probably come definitely to fruition in the summer. Maybe one or two in Jan.
But the thing is, right? The thing is, Bob, when he was at Chelsea, he had that bench. That bench of his, he had absolutely, you can say world-class players on that bench he can call upon. Look at today, as I said to
calling Batshuayi world-class. Just the striker.
What's that, mate?
I'm not calling.
No, I ain't saying all of them. I ain't saying all of them, Matt. But I'm saying he did have.
Yeah, options. Yeah.
I mean, like today, he'll probably turn around to his left or his right, saying, "Fuck me, I've got fucking Doherty on here. Fucking Lo Celso here, fucking me. Who's going to come on and change this game?"
Let's not forget, he will get the better of players. I'm sure there's many Inter Milan fans who would have thought, "What the fuck have we got Ashley Young down the left wing for?" Or Chelsea fans thinking, "Why the fuck have we got
Victor Moses?"
Yeah, Victor Moses down the right wing back for. What is all that about? He was one of the best right wingers, right backs in the Premier League that season. Alonso.
I totally agree with that, Bob's there. But same, I looked at that bench, and I couldn't name a player barring like on the Bailey who can come on and change the game. I mean, that's the worrying.
That's recruitment, isn't it, mate? That's recruitment.
And that's the worrying, and it's not only under Conte; it's been happening under the last three managers as well. I mean, our bench under Poch, I think we did have quite a good. Strength and depth there, but under Jose and Nuno, and now under Conte, the bench is not. It's full of defenders. That's the thing.
Yeah, but by making players stronger, we'll make our squad stronger. I mean, I'm not getting carried away, but after 2 games, we know if we put Davies on the bench, we've got a capable a player who Conte trusts, and if Conte trusts him, I trust him. Conte could trust to bring on in a back 3 if we needed to change the formation. Now, Davies on the subs bench, a month ago, we would have been sitting there going, "What the fuck is he doing on the bench?" Now he's there because Conte's got 2 good games out of him. I'd go as far as Emerson. Now Emerson is on the bench and we play a Berg one and he needs to come on. We know we're not going to be that weakened. Again, only 2 games, and I'm just looking into the future. So who knows what players he could make better and a better player will make our squad stronger. And it means if that player does get better and is on the bench, makes a whole thing a bit rosier. We don't know. There's going to be players who won't be able to make it. Some players who will excel and take on the challenge and become better players. But it's a wait and see. No one would expected an Ashley Young to be one of the best left wing backs in Italy, or a Victor Moses to be one of the right wing backs in the Premier League, a title winning right wing back in the Premier League. So
maybe that suits them, because it's not the best of leagues, in it, in pace wise and things like that. So that allowed the likes of Ashley Young and Victor Moses to
he made a player
put them in the Premier League. Would you say they could have done that in the Premier League?
Well, with all due respect,
Actually, Young, do you know what? Towards that, actually, Young did actually. He was actually quite decent in the Premier League, actually.
But I'd put an Emerson, a Bergwijn, a Lucas ahead of a Victor Moses. I really do. I think they're a lot more talented, and if you could do that with a Victor Moses, if I'm Bergwijn, if I'm Lucas Moura, certainly Bergwijn, I think, and I've got a bit of I've got a bit of soft spot. I'll be looking at Conte saying, make me what you've made out of fullbacks or wing backs in your previous jobs, because I think Bergwijn, if he puts his head down, he could be a really good right wing back. I really do believe that.
That's the team. That's the team I went with last night, Matt. And I did go with Lucas and Bergwijn doing that job what Emerson and Reg's done. You know what I mean? Just change it up. But we've got Leicester till I die. Chris says laugh at that. Great show, guys. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and like the video too, guys. Darren says he's only had the squad for a few days. With the break now, he can work with the team properly.
Absolutely.
I totally agree. Absolutely. Well, I say Docky on the left side was a bit of a car crash, unfortunately.
He was so shit.
Try an Ashley Young trick.
Well, he got down the side, then he had to cut in. It's so obvious what he was going to do. I was like,
And that's one thing Ashley Young never did. He always tried with his left foot. He always tried with left foot, which was a weaker foot. So, again, it's up to Doherty to change that now.
Absolutely.
Yeah, true. Or it's up to Sessegnon to get fit and get in that left wing back spot, because I do think there's an option there.
There is. It's still one of our top 5 most expensive ever signings for Spurs. Would you believe?
Simply age say this is quite worrying that fact actually stats saying scoring 9 goals in 11 games is concerning. I'm sure Conte will sort it out. I'm confident he'll sort it out. But that's alarming, isn't it? It's worrying that not 9 goals.
Just below us with that.
Yeah.
Well,
that is worrying, but
how did you notice? They say Spurs still has the blinkers on since they signed for us. Was that Spurs still has the blinkers on? Still he signed for us. Oh right, yeah, Conte, yeah, and they will continue to fire blanks. Bryce says he is. I never knew that. I think he's on about Stell.
Did you know he was a coach?
Yeah, Stell's the coach. Yeah.
It's an ongoing joke.
You know what?
It's an ongoing. We banter him now because he's gone. He goes around telling everyone he's a coach. So we're like, "Oh, you coach, are you?" We never knew that. So yeah, it's an ongoing banter thing at the moment. Fucking hell, still a coach.
He comes. You can tell he comes across that way.
Even he's positive. Even he's positive, and I've never met such a negative person. And even Stell's positive about Conte coming in, and it was great to see last night. I was on the show last night, and it was great to see Stell like that. So I think the positive vibes will be there.
It was good. It was good with him and Will going at it.
Will's negative Nancy at the moment. So which is,
it is, isn't it? I've seen some of Will's comments, and I don't know if he just doesn't like the Conte appointment, or he just doesn't like the people overhyping the appointment, and
he's expecting too much too soon. Which
absolutely,
which is fine. Yeah, I love Will, man. He's crazy, but
absolutely,
he's a negative Nancy at the moment.
So yes, guys, we are going to end it there, and thanks for Bob's tuning in at the end there. Absolutely pleasure to have him on. Bob's, tell everyone where they can find you, my friend.
Yeah, Bob Spur TV. I just did a show last night. Looked at Spurs, obviously, but Man United,
good
Newcastle, and Norwich as well. And then got a day after the day before show tomorrow, looking back at the Everton game. And then next Saturday, I will be doing an In the Wall special looking at Qatar 2022 and the shit show that's going on there and the hypocrisy amongst football fans. I'm not going to lie. I'll be straight up with you. I hate what's going on in Qatar, what has gone on in Qatar, the deaths and the human rights and the way they've treated. But am I really going to sit here and put my hand on heart and say I will not watch the World Cup? I'll be lying, man. I'll be lying. So that is one of the questions that's going to come up. And yeah, we need to differentiate. We need to differentiate that. So, of course, Newcastle's takeover will be discussed as well. But that's next Saturday, like I say, In the Wall special, talking about Qatar and morality within football.
Absolutely. Get over to Bob Spur. Absolutely great show last night as well. This comment here from Neil quickly, guys. What do you think about the length of Conte's contract? Maybe Man U have their eyes on him. Maybe I was thinking about this, guys. I think they went in for Conte in the summer. I don't think he rejected us through anything else with the bullshit we've been hearing. We've been hearing that he was emotionally attached to Inter Milan still. The move wasn't right at the time. That's why I think we got Nuno in on a short contract. We were going to go back in for Conte. I think that's what he'll give and see how Nuno did. And it's the way they went back in for Nuno, because apparently Fabrizio was saying they've been speaking to Nuno Conte over the last 2 weeks about the job. So I think that's how it went. I think they bring Nuno in. It was just literally a short gap, and they were always going to go back in for Conte. So does it worry you guys about the 18th month contract he's got, or do you think he's giving the vibes at the minute? He's hoping to stay longer. He likes the club. He thinks it's the right fit for him. Can you see him staying over the 18 months?
Only one people. I don't know what you think, Matt, but only Levy and Enoch decide if he stays there longer. If we spend the money, I wouldn't be surprised if he turned around and said, because it is 18 months with an option to extend for a year. If it's not been backed properly, you might not even stay the 18 months. But if it's been backed half-heartedly and they turn around and say, right, you've got good enough players there, he might say, right, see you later. But if they've given the full backing and they can see the board can match his vision, which is, let's be honest, his blueprint is quick buys, quick success. Yeah, 18 months, 2 years, whatever it is.
The thing is, Bob, and I think to put Spurs back onto level playing field with these top clubs in the Premier League, and I think that's where we need to be. I mean, that's where Conte needs to push us to get back up to that. And maybe after the 18 months, we are there at fighting again for top 4 and things like that. We have got good players around, and he's probably thinking, do you know what, I fancy something else. Then a Ten Hag, someone like that, can come in.
I don't think that's right. I think like Dave says, if it's fully backed after the 18 months, he'll stay for another year. I think if in 18 months, and of course we're going over the top, but with the manager, we're allowed to go over the top. But in 18 months, don't be surprised if we're challenging. If we get the recruitment right in Jan, definitely this summer, and he's put in a system, which is, I think, is already starting now by next season. Remember, by the second season, the guy's pushing teams up. And Inter Milan, who hadn't won the league for 10 years, he came in and there you go, straight away. They were challenging and winning. Juventus, year in, year out, whatever. So don't be surprised if we're challenging for the title within the 18 months, if he's backed the way he should be backed and his blueprint comes to the fore. And after 18 months, if he sees that, then as Dave says, if he's been backed properly, he's staying. He's signing that extra year. He might want to we might think, fuck it, I might want a long. But even if he doesn't, one thing we have got someone, if he does leave after the 18 months, he's good enough a manager to leave a stable, a progressive football team.
That's what I'm saying.
Rather than the shit that Nuno.
He'll hopefully by then we'll be up there. I mean, and we can someone like a Ten Hag, someone so he can come in and continue the job. Matt, are you worried about this 18th month, or you agree with Bob's there, mate?
No, I agree with Bob's. I think it is up to Levy and Enoch. If they get it right, they're backing properly, he stays. It's as simple as that. And it seems like the club fits him well at the moment, and then I'm hoping they back him to the hill and what he wants, and then he has no reason but to stay. And then he can go up a gear, and so kind of what Tuchel's done, didn't he? He had an 18-month contract, and then he went and
It's very interesting.
Chelsea, and then it got extended.
Tuchel took over at Chelsea last season. His first game was 0-0 against Wolves, and the rest of history went on to win the Champions League. But I think they did have a better squad than what we've got. I think, me personally,
and let's not forget
an all-round squad.
It's a bit of a myth that Conte spends loads of money. Paratici does his best business on free transfers. If that's the case, if we do sell a high players, then that could go into a wage budget. But secondly, out of the top 4 managers, and in my eyes, he is already top 4: Klopp, Pep, Tuchel, and Conte. He has spent the least money. He spent the least money overall since how many years? I think the last 10 years, or I can't get the exact, but he's spent the least money, and success-wise, it's probably on par. So it is a bit of a myth. Yes, granted, he's taken over clubs who have been in a better state and probably don't need the overhaul we need. But don't think that he's a big money spender. Like, my thoughts on Pep. I think he's overrated, and he buys titles rather than coach teams. So you're telling world-class players how to kick a ball. Big up on you. No, I think there's a lot more to Conte than any of the managers. I think he's better than Pep. I really do. I think he's better than Tuchel. Chelsea aren't playing that great at the moment, but they're still winning. But they're not playing as great as they used to. But Conte easily for me is the second or third best. Certainly second. I'd say only Klopp's ahead of him in my eyes. But that's just a personal opinion. But he doesn't spend millions and millions of pounds. I think he will need to at Spurs. It's all up to the board.
Absolutely. Tony says great having Bob Spur on. Always speaks sense and facts, and keep up the good work. Conte will stay on if he's backed. Big up, guys. Great show again. Tony says this is the only reason that Conte is at Spurs. He'll be promised funds to build a team. If it doesn't happen, I agree with Bob. He will walk. Hence the 18-month contract. Not true. Inter fans said that wank. We had no loyalty to them. He was holding out for Man United, but they didn't come calling. So he came to us. Thanks. I don't know about that one. I think you are right. It's all about the backing. And Tony says, I already told you, Simon, Matt, Paratici just being used as the face of the club. It's to satisfy the fans. Levy and Lewis have the final
100%.
say.
They're still signing the checks. They're still signing the checks. I believe DOF means deflector of football, not director of football. I think he's a deflector of football. He's got contacts, of course, and he'll probably be the one who brings the players to Levy and Enoch. But it's them who signed the check. It's them who signed, and it's up to them. It's up to them.
And they are the problem was holding the club back, Bob, isn't it? Daniel Levy and Lewis, because actually keep out of it. You know what I mean? Just agree with. I mean, if it's bringing the talent in, bringing success to Tottenham. I mean, I just think they don't want success at Tottenham. These guys, I think they really don't.
They don't know what success Tottenham is. To them, they've got success. They've got all these buildings and got a lovely portfolio of properties around them. To them, that means success. But I'll tell you what, do not underestimate. We want Levy out against Man United at home. How much of an effect that had on Levy.
Absolutely.
That was
100%.
such a fucking opener. And there's going to be executive board members up there in the stadium and out in America. Lewis listening to what?
Yeah.
What is that? What's that? We want
All
Levy out. What's going on here?
Yeah.
Matt said earlier, the penny has dropped. The penny has dropped, and like I say, big up to everyone who said, "What are the?" And I'll probably sound over the top and a bit far fetched, But if it wasn't for the likes of Brian Daigle, the likes of ourselves, I did my bit on within the YouTube community,
absolutely,
Stell and everyone pushing the agenda constantly. We were getting told we're stupid. These bed sheets were on the story are going to do fuck all. I'll tell you what, change the ESL conversation. Yeah, okay, there was a lot more to it. The furlough system when Levy went in, the uproar of fans that got changed. Gattuso, I was doing a live stream when Fonseca fell through and Gattuso got within that stream. The amount of we had Gattuso out trending during that stream that changed their mind. And I tell you what, do not underestimate. We want Levy out chant directly at Levy. He would have shut his pants. And while he shut his pants, the penny might have dropped out of his pocket as well. Because I tell you, there's going to be changes. And Conte, there's no point bringing Conte in if you're not going to back him. It's up to them. If it fucks up, if we had a poor season and the 3-0 losses continue in the same manner next season or after the recruitment or whatever, no one's going to point the finger at Conte. No one's going to call him a has-been.
No
one's going to call him an average manager. All the points, all the chances are going to go to Levy, and he knows that. He knows that. So the penny's dropped. It's up to them now. Over to you, Levy and Enoch.
I know this guy. He can wind a lot of people up, Levy. I just don't think he's that daft now. I really don't. This is his last chance saloon. Because if he doesn't fucking do it right, he knows the fans will be back in that stadium, pulling them out again, mate, and he will have nowhere to hide, nowhere to run. Because if Conte can't do it, who else can fucking come in and do this job?
It's
do you know what I mean?
Only slight of big up, and Brian Daigle, if you're listening, cover your ears. But it's the only slight big up I'd ever give Levy and Enoch is the fact they've put their balls out there. They put their head on the block to bring Conte in. Because like you guys say, there's no hiding place. You don't bring Conte in and don't back him because that makes it even worse.
Well,
for
not the money he's on. It's like 16 million a year, isn't it? So it's a lot of money as well. So they don't want to screw it up.
Exactly.
Yeah, absolutely. So, guys, thanks for everyone in the chat tonight. Absolutely fantastic support. Smash the like going out, guys. Subscribe to the channel. Get all your family and friends to subscribe as well, guys. Go over to Bob. If you didn't watch that last night, go over to Bob's and watch that in the wall. It is absolutely fantastic. It was great to see because Will was on it last night. He was on it. Absolutely. He went holding back. He doesn't stand down. Does he? But
why we not got to 1K on this channel is beyond me. I know you guys had a bit of a break, but we need to push it. So guys, if you're watching afterwards, just make sure you hit that sub if you're not already. And if you tell your friends, tell your neighbour, tell your cat or your dog, whoever's not subscribed to this channel needs to get it sorted because it's one of the most underrated. Like I've always said to you guys, it feels like home to me. You were the guys who gave me that first ever stream. So
nice work.
And you know I'll never forget that.
Yeah, absolutely, Bobs. So yes, guys, we are going to go out. Thanks for co-host Matt, always in the chat, always comes in. So next, I don't know, it's International Week, Matt. We might do a reflective roundup of what's gone on in past week.
Yeah, we'll
of Conte coming in, so if you want to catch me again, I'll be on Judge Jody tomorrow at 8 PM on Paxton Road TV, guys. Nice. At 8 PM, doing the player ratings, I think.
Good luck with that, sir.
Good luck with that,
what about the rest of them? 4,
3. So we're going to go out now, guys. As I said, thanks for Bob's coming on. Absolutely. Tony, great show, guys. Great stream tonight. And don't forget, Brew. We're all on an absolutely fantastic. They're doing fantastic at the minute. Dave's in the love lounge with the missus now.
He is,
So, yes, guys, thank you very much. As I said, we're going to go out now from Premier Hotspur TV. I've been Simon. This has been my co-host Matt, and this has been Bob's. As I said, get over to his channel, guys. Absolutely fantastic content this guy does. So good night, God bless, guys, and we'll leave you with this, guys. Good night, God bless, guys, and come on, you Spurs.
Come on.